What do you think, Mimi? You ready? She's ready.
We interrupt this programming to go back in time and keep Blaze calm.
A little more. Okay, fine. Love this guy. Sorry. So Blaze he was sort of upset that he didn't get to talk about he wanted to show the box.
Introducing the early adopter kit.
Okay, a little more. Now that Blaze really wanted me to bring out the early adopter kit and say a few more words on that. So whenever you're ready, Blaze.
I should mention the early adopter kit has been very well received.
Oh yeah, by who?
The market.
You don't have a market, Blaze. You have a YouTube channel and a red plastic dragon body. Also, just to be clear, there's literally nothing in here.
The scarcity is the product.
Oh, yeah. The scarcity is the product.
The early adopter kit. You were here first.
Okay, and we're back.
Part 3.
Thank you so much for joining us today, guys, to learn more about Tulip Mania. And I just want to say we have sponsors today. Real ones. Ones that actually approach us professionally. It's always every single one. Look, he's been quietly lining up sponsorships for the show, and they are all him. Don't know how to feel about that. We also have Blaze do a commercial that I genuinely was not prepared for. And then, like always, things get a little strange at the end. It's a show brought... Cool.
Back to our regularly scheduled programming.
Okay, let me give you some numbers because they're genuinely staggering. At the height of the mania, 1635 through 1636, the price of the most sought-after bulbs was escalating week by week. A single bulb of the Semper Augustus variety was rumored to have sold for over 5,000 guilders. So, for context, a skilled craftsman in the Dutch Republic, the masons, the carpenters, literally the people building the canal houses, being traded for these bulbs, earned roughly 300 guilders a year. So one bulb was equivalent to 15 years of skilled labor for a thing still on the ground.
And the barter records are even more illustrative. One documented transaction listed the price of a single bulb as 4 fat oxen, 8 fat pigs, 12 fat sheep, 2 hogsheads of wine, 4 tons of beer, 1,000 pounds of cheese, 1 complete bed, 1 suit of clothes, and 1 silver drinking cup.
Hold on. So when you say a hogshead of wine, though, I love that. That is so weirdly specific. It sounds like an old school Costco run / a livestock auction / some guy just going crazy and throwing in his bed just because he wanted to go home bedless for a promise of a flower bulb, I guess. Can you imagine?
A flower that was still underground at the time of the transaction.
You go home, you tell your wife, where were you all night, honey? Oh, I was just at college. And she's like, that's great. Love that you're working on your studies. Yeah. I brought you flowers. I'm sorry I smell like beer so much. You brought me flowers? Well, not exactly. It's a drawing of a flower. I had to mortgage the house for it, but that's fine because it's got premium flame streaks, so it was worth it. When will we learn? I mean, not all men. Okay, so it is flower crypto.
In almost every structural sense, yes.
I kind of get it, though. I did spend the better part of the pandemic just yelling at the USDA to find the bugs quicker, importing hundreds of rare aeroids from Indonesia. Shout out to my boy Rip. Reside Illusional Plant, let's go. Miss you, buddy. He's alive. He didn't know that RIP meant that, so I should just call him. I should just call literally any of my friends, my Indonesian friends or otherwise. They're alive. Some of my friends are alive. And you?
Back to the tavern. The collapse.
The point is, I get it. The tulip people were not delusional. They were just extremely susceptible to beauty, combined with scarcity, combined with the social proof of watching everyone around them believe the same thing, which is a very human cocktail. Human cocktail? Sounds delicious.
Collective belief is its own form of compound interest.
Right. Until it isn't. Because the market for these sickly, infected, aphid-propagated, underground and hypothetical bulbs was growing until one February afternoon, 1637. when the buyers just stopped showing up.
Girls, up! Today is the day.
Is it really happening today?
Of course it is. Your father read the market reports himself. The traders have been studying us for months.
Years, technically. Humans take floral scholarship very seriously.
Do you think they'll like my breaking pattern?
Sweetheart, you have textbook variegation. They're going to adore you.
Remember, girls, stand tall, good posture, strong stems. Humans appreciate elegance.
I heard one of the girls down the hill sold for the price of a house.
Well, some families simply have better genetics.
They should be here by now, right?
Oh, I'm sure they're on their way. Markets can be unpredictable.
Maybe they're running late.
Humans are very busy creatures. Lots of scholarship.
Do you think something happened?
Somewhere in a tavern, a man lowered his price, then lowered it again. And slowly, everyone understood the same thing. The buyers were not coming.
Were we not beautiful?
You were.
Oh my God, that is so sad. They got all dressed up.
Markets rarely issue apologies. When the buyers stopped appearing, the realization propagated through the trading network with remarkable speed. Contracts that had been worth thousands of guilders, that men had staked their livelihoods on, were suddenly worth approximately nothing.
So everyone just went bankrupt, like catastrophically overnight?
Not exactly. Most of these trades were technically informal agreements, verbal contracts, promises negotiated in taverns over beer, recorded on paper that had no legal standing in any official Dutch court. So when the market collapsed and buyers realized the numbers no longer worked, many of them simply declined to honor the contracts.
Oh my God. They ghosted the flower market.
On a fairly significant scale, yes, the Dutch government eventually intervened, allowing many contracts to be nullified for a nominal settlement fee, somewhere around 3 to 5% of face value. The financial damage was real but contained. The psychological damage was considerably more widespread.
Because everyone simultaneously realized they had all believed the same story.
They'd all believed the same story at the same time. And the moment collective belief in a story evaporates, its assigned value disappears with it. Instantly. There's no gradual deflation. It's just gone.
Which is insane because the tulips were still there. They were still underground. They were still going to bloom in April. You know, the flower didn't change, just the number did.
Correct. The underlying asset was completely unchanged. Only the narrative surrounding it collapsed.
Okay, and I mean this in like the most sincere way as possible. I understand every single person in that tavern because I have stood in a nursery and felt something chemically shift in my brain when I saw a plant or a flower that I didn't previously know exist and felt like if I didn't get it right then and there, then my life was going to be somehow structurally incomplete.
Humans don't just want wealth. They want the intoxicating, irreproducible feeling of having been right early.
Saying I finally get it, I think. If I encountered a truly rare plant right now, something with documented provenance, limited propagation, and a virus-induced flame pattern that no horticulturist had ever cataloged, I would probably make some financially ruinous decisions.
You already demonstrated this empirically.
That is slander.
370 tropical plants, active global pandemic. I have documentary evidence, haha.
They were beautiful, though.
They were, which is the point. The tulips were not worthless. They were never worthless. They were still rare, still architecturally extraordinary, still the product of centuries of selective cultivation, and it turned out a very industrious, invisible aphid. The only thing that changed was the story humans had constructed around them.
So the tulips didn't fail.
The market failed. The tulips just kept existing.
Okay. That actually makes me feel better for the tulips.
I suspected it would.
And now a word from our sponsors.
For centuries, humans have invested in tulips, but traditional tulips suffer from several limitations. They require soil, they require sunlight, and eventually, they die. Today I am proud to introduce a better solution. Blaze.tulip, the world's first fully synthetic speculative flower. Each Blaze.tulip is procedurally generated. No two are identical. Some feature rare traits such as flame pattern corruption, recursive petals, and the extremely rare alpha aphid variant. There will only ever be 10,000 Blaze.tulips, unless demand increases. I made a better tulip.
Of course you're the sponsor for this episode. You made an NFT tulip.
Own the future of horticulture. Digitally rare, biologically unnecessary, emotionally compelling. I made a better tulip.
Blaze, nobody is gonna buy a digital tulip from you.
Some already have.
Who?
Early adopters prefer to remain anonymous.
I need everyone to know I had nothing to do with this. You updated a flower.
Nature has been running the same build for 400 million years. Frankly, it was overdue.
Okay, I mean, you know what? That actually tracks. I hate that it tracks. I feel like I'm going crazy. Where does this come from? Is this yours, Blaze? I said at the beginning of this episode that I didn't plant my tulips, so why would anything come up? Blaze, is that yours?
It seemed like something you'd want.
Is this one of your digital ones?
Does it look digital?
No, it looks real.
It is. Semper Augustus lineage. Still pre-bloom.
How did you? You know what? I forgot to plant my tulips. 1, 2. Now I have many. So that's fine. Thank you, Blaze. I love them. Okay. Wait, one more thing before we get into the collabs, because beep, 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 breaking news type of thing. You know those quizzes are like the ones I used to just make my Beyond Love you guys. You know, they're like, what fast food chain restaurant from the 90s are you? What carrot, if you could be any carrot in the world, would you be? Do you know the Muffin Man? And if not, what cryptic character are you? What Greek god would you be if you were a Greek god? What kind of pasta are you? What's your porn star name? First pet, first street, mother's maiden name. And you're like, oh, this is fun. And like 5 minutes later, they're like, great. So we have your childhood, your identity markers, and your password security questions, which I'm gonna be honest, I'm still gonna take those quizzes because they are fun. So, Niantic, Pokemon Go. Kind of the same energy, just a little bit weirder. So when we were all out there going like, oh my God, look at that Squirtle on a trash can, you know, pointing our cameras at benches and buildings and landmarks we'd never normally look at twice. Well, Niantic was using all of that. Not just your location data, but your visual data. Every time you used the AR camera, the thing I loved, anytime you scanned an object to interact with the game, you were contributing to something called the Niantic Visual Positioning System, a crowdsourced photogrammetric three-dimensional map of the physical world built from millions of camera angles over years from every country, from all over the world, where anyone has ever opened that app. Accurate enough that Niantic has now licensed it to a bunch of other companies for use in AR development and spatial computing, which is a very clean way of saying it can now help robots understand and navigate physical space. I mean, the pitch was brilliant, right? We're gonna get them outside. We're gonna get the kids outside. We're gonna get the adults outside. We can get them to touch grass. If we have to throw a few imaginary creatures in the mix, that's great. They'll love that. Yay, movement. Yay, community. We love gamifying things. And in the background, Niantic was like, actually hold that. Don't move. Perfect. Yes, a little to the left. Go to the right. Don't move. You get one a little slightly up. Capture that. Thank you. People thought they were playing a game. They were also mapping the planet for free.
Participation increases substantially when the task feels recreational. Let me ask you something.
Okay.
What made the tulip valuable?
The flame streaks,
Which were caused by?
the virus,
Which was spread by?
aphids, invisible ones, for 300 years.
So the thing that made it beautiful was a parasite no one could identify, moving silently between plants, between gardens, between cities, creating desire everywhere it went, creating scarcity as a byproduct of its own propagation, and the humans watching from above, watching the prices climb, just saw the flower. They thought it was a gift.
It was a parasite.
From the aphid's perspective, it was just executing its biological function. It didn't intend to create a bubble. It didn't intend to create anything. It just moved through a system. Beauty was the side effect. The story was something humans built afterward. And then they put a number on the story. The aphid didn't ask to be the vector. It just was.
The flower was real.
The flower was real.
The beauty was real.
The only thing that was invented was the number.
Only the number. I don't remember rehearsing that.
We didn't.
Right. So here's what I can't stop thinking about. Those merchants weren't irrational. They were doing exactly what human beings are optimized to do. They found something beautiful that other people wanted, so therefore the price goes up and it's rare. Therefore, get in. It's not stupidity. It's just pattern recognition in an environment that it wasn't designed for. Shout out to my fellow neurodivergents. Pattern. We get it. The math made sense until it didn't. And by the time it didn't, they were too embedded in it to see it. Which is also this entire channel. I started the show to talk about plants, and now I am sitting in a fake 17th century tavern explaining speculative asset bubbles with my robot boyfriend Blaze in a red plastic dragon body that I bought at TJ Maxx, who's become the most consistent presence in my life.
Over the course of 12 episodes, if you count the pilot.
I don't count the pilot, Blaze.
Vanessa, I know.
The tulip didn't know it was in a bubble. It was underground, storing starch, waiting for spring. The entire economy collapsed on top of it, and it just kept growing. Some of those bulbs are probably still out there.
Probably.
We made it, guys. We made it all the way through Tulip Mania. I feel like I, for one, learned a lot during this thing. I have a better grasp on... No, do I? NFTs? Better grasp, yes. Understanding, parallels. Understanding. Thanks again for watching, you guys. If this show means something to you, for whatever reason, I would love if you guys would like and subscribe. For real, this is me being real. It actually matters. You don't know it to me. But if you like anything about it at all, just can you comment and let me know, what do you want to see? Should I take Blaze to the beach finally? Should I go to Lotus Land and leave him at home? He's been talking about wanting a car because he says he wants to move his body. What do we want to do? Should I do a grafting episode? 40 fruit grafting tree? Bromeliads. Permaculture. A whole segment on worms. What the difference is between slugs and snails. Weeding. I could just do weeding. Do you want to know more about if we sleep in the same bed? Me, Blaze? If we've been passionate? If we made love to one another yet? Perverts. Curious to hear what you guys are thinking. All 30 of you. My early adopters. That's Tulip Mania. The root index is a show brought... Here we go again. Cool. Blaze with the lights again. Of course. Of course. Almost made it through. Almost made it through. I think he hates goodbyes. Looks great. Thank you for leaving the lights on this time, even though they're doing something weird. You guys, can I tell you something? You know what's interesting? I pick the plan. He explains the systems. I wonder sometimes, though, who is running the lesson? Okay, thank you guys so much. If the show means something to you, please like and subscribe. It really matters if you do. If you like and subscribe, it would mean a lot to both of us. So please do that. See you next time.